Welcome back, traders and investors, to Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep, brought to you by MarketFi. I'm your co-host, Joel Alcanan, along with Brianna Valesky, and we have Phil Ash on the line. He's a co-founder and CEO of Baton Investing. Phil, how you doing on this Thursday morning?
I'm doing well. Good morning to you all.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Tell us about Baton Investing, how it got started, and kind of what's behind the inner workings of your company.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, after spending several years as a financial analyst and CPA, and then ultimately running a investment research firm, I kind of came to the realization that while I had all this knowledge, I wasn't necessarily that great of an investor myself, because I was, like many people, kind of cherry picking from ideas here and there. So I basically stepped back and said, I need to develop a system that's going to take my emotions out of the game and is going to run my investing for me. And that was the driving force behind launching Baton. So what I did is I went out and I did a ton of research online looking for guys who had a track record, a system that had a track record. And I found this guy, John Reese from Validia Capital, who had launched the system back in 2003 that was based on 10 gurus. He basically created this AI model around how they fundamentally choose stocks. And the system had outperformed the market by 300% since 2003. So I said, I got to get me some of that, right? So I went out and I partnered with John, and it was complicated to use. So we put it into an app, and we literally made it so that now with 3 clicks and a login, 30 seconds a month, you can manage your entire investment portfolio.
Wow. So is it you go totally on your system? Is there anything discretionary in it, or just boom, you just go with the algos and see what they give you?
Yeah, I mean, you're like I said, a lot of people like to cherry pick, and they're not gonna, adhere literally to the system. But I'd say, do that at your own risk. Me personally, I'm adhering to the system literally because, I've been there, done that when I try to kind of think I'm smarter than the market or smarter than the algorithm, what have you. So yeah, I'm all in following it literally.
Okay. And does it give you shorts and long recommendations?
Nope, this is simply longs, and they are so the algorithm is built around the principles of 10 gurus like Peter Lynch, Warren Buffett, O'Shaughnessy, Petrosky, etc. So it's value oriented, and basically what happens is every 4 weeks the system tells you these are the 10 best stocks to buy right now, and every 4 weeks basically we look at the portfolio and we may spit out replace anywhere from 1 to 5 of the stocks each month, and replace them with whichever ones have the most upside potential at that moment. And they're mostly smaller and mid-cap size stocks.
And do you do them equally in your portfolio, balanced wise?
Yeah, so with Validia and John Reese, he's always had this model where it's 10 stocks allocated 10% to each. What we've done, that remains our core, but we also ask people to come, when they come to our site, to take an assessment. And the reality is we tell more than 50% of the people who come to our site that Baton simply isn't a good fit for you. So we're not trying to be all things to all people. And then that assessment also determines your risk level, and it will layer in, it will tell you either go 100% in these stocks or 80% or 60%. The other 20 and 40% would be 3 ETF hedges that we can give people as well.
Okay, and what makes a good fit for your site?
Well, obviously you need to be looking for higher caliber returns, and with that comes a greater degree of risk. So my advice to people is if you've done the math and you know how much you need for retirement or whatever your financial goal may be, and you do the math based on how much you have, how much you're going to put in each year, and determine that you need 10% or less annual returns, I say just put your money in the SPY. That's assuming that you've got at least a 5-year horizon for that money. Any setback in the market is going to recover in 5 years, always has, on an inflation-adjusted basis. If you need more than 10% annually to get to your goal, and we've returned 16% annually, then that's the sort of person who should be looking at the Baton investing system.
Okay, so let's talk about what the Baton investing system is telling you. Well, I guess you do it monthly, so you already did your rotation. Can you maybe tell us some things, if any additions or deletions that you had in your system last month?
Yeah, so we've got our next rebalance is coming out this Friday.
Ooh.
So it's every fourth Friday. So some of these stocks I'm going to tell you right now, I frankly, I don't even know if we're going to be holding them come Monday, because the system will recalibrate then. But for example, one of the stocks that we've held for a month, TCRD, which is THL Credit, we've held that since the last rebalance of February 13th, and we're up 6.98% as of yesterday. That was an interesting stock because that's a BDC, a Business Development Corp, and they just released earnings on Tuesday, I think it was. So we wrote up a piece on that basically said, there's a lot of people thinking there's a dividend cut coming here, but and our system determined that it thought the fundamentals were fine, and so it had been beaten down about 20%, and of course earnings came out and the dividend was maintained and was fine. So we're looking for that to go up to maybe 14. It's at 12.5 right now. But like I said, we might be out of it come Monday. I'm not sure.
Okay, and anything else that you're in? Just trying to ride. That's a nice looking chart. That looks like it was a good call for the month. So it will tell you to stay in or take a profit, correct, or add to the position.
Yep, that's exactly right. Another one was Chicago Bridge and Iron.
Oh, well, let's talk about that one. I know you're in company with Mr. Buffett on that one. The last time I looked at the chart, it wasn't too pretty, but looks like it's had a little bit of a comeback. Let's talk about Chicago Bridge and Iron.
Yeah, we've held that one since December 19th, and we're up about 13%. But yeah, that was after a huge decline going back to looks like April or so of last year. So, again, that's where our system will identify stocks that have, been beaten down unfairly.
Okay, yeah, and that one has come back. So we've been on the line with Phil Ash. He's co-founder and CEO at Baton Investing, sticking to his algos here and having some good results. You should check out his site. Phil, thanks for coming on. We hope to have you on again.
Hey, thanks a lot. Have a great day.